habit of giving tidbits of information about problems and then providing quick fix solutions. That is a huge issue with the use of media. If you're not aware of what you're dealing with, this will happen to your story. This will happen to your concern. This is how your issue will be reported. And I will not use the term fake news, but I will say it is edited news. Editing is a part of media, and the way it can be chopped up, diced and sliced, can have a complete effect on what you receive, and now the debate has been shaped, your opinion has been skewed. Once you gain greater control over the way your issues are reported by the media, then the community can work for improvements. Paid advertisements. We all know what those are. And as a volunteer organization, and we know we do fundraising, paid advertisements can get to be very pricey, but they are also very effective. So there are a lot of ways you can get the attention of the media and general public. Which one is right for us? Which one will we choose? In our media campaign, it depends on what we want to say, how we want to say, and how we want them to say it. How do you set up a media campaign? A media advocacy campaign is similar to a political campaign in that people who run it need to plan it out. They need to have specific strategies or plans and tools in mind before they take any action. I really would like to see the branch as a whole start to use the media to our advantage, where we're going to them and not waiting for them to come to us. That's really what this preparation will ensure. Prepare your organization. That's what we're doing tonight. We're going to designate a media coordinator or coordinating group. This person or group develops and implements a media strategy and acts as the bridge between the media and your organization or coalition. They should approve anything that is destined for the media before it leaves the organization to make sure the message is consistent and no one is saying anything that he or she, the organization, will later regret. So how it is structured within our branch is that in the past when we've sent out our news releases and things like that, it has always been the exact same consistent message going to every single different media outlet. Getting people involved by word of mouth is great, but a lot of people, especially when it comes to this organization, based on its 108-year history, it comes with a certain level of expectation. And, you know, I say with great pride that Southern Burlington does great work, but we shortchange ourselves sometimes when we're not getting the word out. A great example of that is housing. The housing issue. We had a very big victory some months ago with these towns who were still resisting putting up the affordable housing. But we've had this victory in the past. And what happens is the momentum was lost, we didn't stay with it, and no one saw it through to see that the actual affordable housing was built. So now we have the same victory, but who's going to keep the ball running and keep it in the media that it's still important that the affordable houses are actually built?
And sometimes I feel like we would do better if we just let their rally go kind of quietly, you know, without giving the publicity that they are looking for when we're reactive, and instead maybe have something separate, a separate event at a different time instead of just showing up. I mean, because I'm starting to wonder, what are we getting from doing that? Are we really pulling in people, supporters who wouldn't have otherwise been supporters? Is anybody new being educated to the issues from doing that, or is it just immediate, just feeding into, you know, what the media wants, where you have this conflict and then everybody goes home, maybe somebody's dead, but nothing happens, nothing comes of it, and that frustrates me. So I would just like us to be more proactive in having our events, like you mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Have something planned before somebody else does something counter to it.
Oh, I just want to say, I think it's a very interesting perspective because I think that when it comes to these racially charged incidents and matters, we are always on the counter. We're always the reactor. And what I think that those who are stirring up those types of situations know that. That's why it's time to change the game plan. That's why it's time to have the conversation and shape the debate. That's why the media's role in advocacy is important, that we know about it. Because I would say that those who do not represent what we represent clearly know that entire presentation, and they use it to their advantage. And what is also known about our reactive community is that we only react for a short amount of time. We react for a short amount of time, and then we make no change, or make sure there's change that goes beyond the initial reaction until the next thing happens, and it's cyclical. So I think that's a very good point. Bruce?
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of have taken a completely different position. First of all, on CNN today, Bonnie Coleman and another senator from New York, I can't recall his name, were calling for censorship of the president. Okay? That plus 11 Republican congresspeople have come out, and condemned the president because of his handling of this. I don't think that kind of thing would have occurred if Charlottesville did occur. Now, Charlottesville wouldn't have been an issue if there were no counter demonstrators there, because they put their lives on the line. They knew it when they were there, okay? And obviously a life was lost, and many were injured. But the point is that that's the history of sacrifice of our race. I mean, when you look back, the only time any major accomplishment comes is after an event in which lives are lost or people have made a major sacrifice. Change doesn't occur in pretty much anywhere in the world, but historically in this country, unless some major event occurs and a lot of focus is shined on an issue. I see this as the potential. It may not happen. Again, Republicans control the House, and they control everything pretty much on a national level. But I see this as the potential for the beginning of the end to this administration. Okay? And we would never be at this point if Charlottesville didn't happen. So that's my point.
That concludes tonight's presentation from Media and Advocacy. Are there any questions or concerns, discussion on how we'd like to use this information?
Well, actually, I got a little, I don't know if excited, but just thinking about what we talked about the last meeting. We talked about letter writing, and today we're talking about media. I was thinking one thing that the branch really hasn't done much is maybe kind of a plan to do letters to editor, like as we do every month, every 2 weeks or something, that we target wherever we want to, go and just do letters to editors, the president, the vice president, the education chair, something that's going on right now. We could do a letter about Charlottesville. We can do a letter about even in the Freedom Fund, recognizing the good that's in the community, the unsung heroes, things like that. Just to be in the conversation, to elevate the conversation, as well as to make sure that people know what we're doing, what we're thinking about, things like that. But like with the new communication chair, maybe that's like an effort that we can kind of work together to do.
What I always say is, I thank you for taking the time to hear our viewpoint, and I trust that you are going to report this with integrity. I never conclude an interview without making that statement to any reporter, I don't care what they look like, because I think it's important that my message is given accurately and it's not skewed. If you're going to get the opposing side, that's fine. But for what I say when I represent Southern Burlington, my expectation is that it's delivered with integrity.